Hey, episode 23.
We're going deep into this thing. Sorry about the glare on my face. Over here, our studio still isn't set up the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, got caught up in a few things.
Constantly caught up. Who's coming in? I'm trying to post a picture for the Instagram. Do you guys need that on there? Do you guys know that we're live now?
They never know. You gotta go live, dude.
Add to your story. Let's take a picture.
How's everyone doing out there? Episode 23. We're in pretty deep.
Gotta pull up the YouTube link. Hold on, my end. It's busy. What does Savon talk about in this type of stuff?
Yeah, usually just writes a list of notes down, and then he just runs through his notes, pulls up a lot of Instagram, kind of just scrolls through it live, chats about things, which we could also do. Luke and I don't really have a plan for today. We're gonna just kind of wing this one. A lot going on though.
We wing most of them. Let's just be real. Yeah, we got a lot going on. We got another guest in town starting today. I got to go clean the gym still. We are in a pickleball tournament later this afternoon. I need a haircut again. Hair's getting really long. We were watching a movie yesterday with Tom Cruise in it. Like, right? That's who that was. Yeah.
Cocktails. It's a classic. My OG peeps, you'll know what it is.
It was a really good movie. We were judging Matt prior to the movie.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is going to suck. Like, because we watched it on our Apple TV, and we were like, this is really old, from the 80s. Is it in black and white? Is it going to be shit? Is it going to be good? We watched it. I thought it was really good. It kind of it was like my story. I just don't look like Tom Cruise, sadly.
That's why I put it on. Well, I mostly put it on because it was the bartender thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the one thing you didn't get to do in the restaurant.
Yeah. It's be like a real full 10 bartender.
Yeah.
Even at Sips, I never was allowed.
Yeah.
I should interview his dumbass. Why he didn't let me do that.
Yeah. We get deep with Fabian. For sure.
He won't answer though. It's got to be scheduled.
But it's a great movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, it's a classic.
Yeah. Tom Cruise, like, I didn't even know that he played the original Top Gun. I'm an idiot, and then he played the second one. I thought he just played the second one, but it makes sense. He still looks fucking young, dude.
You have to watch the first one to watch the second one. Did you watch the second one?
Never seen either.
Okay, good.
Thought to watch them.
Yeah, we got a lot to watch. Mando came out.
Yeah. We've just been busy, dude.
And Ted Lasso, I think Luke would like.
Yeah.
Sports.
They just did a big thing with that. The Nike movie looks pretty good.
The Nike movie looks pretty good.
I'm not
seeing theaters.
Not a movie guy though, so I don't know how to talk about this type of stuff. Yeah, I'll watch all this stuff. I've watched Mando. I'll watch whatever you want to watch. It's just, sometimes if I'm really tired, I won't be into it. Other times I'll be good, ready to go. I've been trying to sleep in the last 2 days.
Gotta go today.
Well, today was 8 o'clock, but it was restless from 7 to 8. So I was up, but I went to bed a lot earlier than normal. 10.
10. Pretty early.
Yeah, sometimes 9:30, sometimes it's at 9, but the last 2 months has been really late.
What was I gonna say? I think the difference is once I'm up, I'm like, fuck it. I'm just getting up.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt this morning, but I just laid there.
But how successful are you about falling back asleep? Like, let's say you wake up at 6.
Depends. Clearly, I'm tired. I've yawned fucking 4 times. Clearly, but
also podcast people's the allergies that I've been having. It's a result of my mother. She should have given me raw milk as a child.
We were thinking maybe we talk about a couple things today. We got a couple options. We have some topics. Last week we talked about values. We were going to dig into the leadership role this week. I thought we said, right? We talked about that. We were also going to just ask Chat AI a bunch of different questions, GPT or whatever it's called, or have it ask us questions. I don't know if it's up to the current events yet, right? It's still 2 years behind.
No, the new ones, they've
updated it. Oh, shit. Beta's done. Rose is visiting today, so she's on a flight right now. Pickleball.
Yeah, let's get into pickleball. I wrote that as the subject.
What the fuck's pickleball?
Huh?
You said what the fuck's pickleball on the subject, right? We got a lot going on. Pickleball. We balled out.
So first of all, how did you hear about this? Mix.
Tara, who was on the show a couple weeks ago, Fran, she plays. And she's come to the gym, and he told me all the time, like, Luke, you should come play pickleball. You should play pickleball with us. You'd be really good because you play tennis, all this other stuff. And I was like, me. So I didn't go play ever. So Kendall was very interested. Lay down. Lay down. This is what we got to deal with.
Go ahead, tell your story, dude.
Sorry, this podcast is a shit show today. Should we just shut it down? So I was just playing pickleball. I don't know how I really got into it. We just played it. There's no real story behind it. We just played it.
So Kendall suggested to you.
Yeah, she suggested.
About it.
Yeah, I've known about it.
Why?
I wasn't hesitant. I just never cared to play because it was like the
anything to do with tennis.
Nah, it was the commitment that you had to go buy equipment, et cetera, et cetera. And it was like I just never had the desire to go grab it. My bigger reason, actually, let's be honest, is most people suck at sports, especially a hand-eye coordination sport. And I come from a tennis background, so it's frustrating playing with people. Like, it's like imagine playing ping pong and every time you hit the ball to them, it just flies off the fucking table. Yeah. You hit it to them, flies off the table. It's like, at what point do you want to keep playing? Yeah. So that's my frustration or hesitation with sports like that. It's like actually having people that are able to continue a rally, because then at that point, it's not fun. Yeah. More so, it's better lately because I enjoy coaching or helping somebody try to get better, understand it, but that's also frustrating at a point. Like, you know,
because there's like, you know, from what I watched, I feel like there's certain drills you want to do, and it's like you clearly see, like you were doing it yesterday. And I was just like, all right, clearly he's like, we can't be doing this in a game right now. Like, I need you one-on-one. Like, I need to be throwing balls at you.
Yeah, to just continue to hit so you can hit 5-10 in a row correctly. Yeah, that's a challenge, but that's basically the moral of the story is how I got into pickleball and why I was hesitant to play with people. What about you?
I've seen it just blow up on the news, social media. Dude,
allergies are fucking bad. Yeah, I can't drink milk anymore.
So I've been wanting to try it. I've been trying to play tennis with Luke, but same thing. I'll only play we play with this college D1 athlete, but I'll only play like a game, and then I'll feel bad, and like you can tell these people like to compete. So
I wouldn't say I'm a competitor. Let's just draw the line.
It's the sport fun for you.
Yeah, it's more fun. It's like, why would I want to play after years of playing at a competitive? I like to refer to it as a competitive level because it was competitive. Not that I competed a lot or was like ranked, but I played lots and lots and lots and lots of hours. It's damaged my shoulders. My whole body's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, like sports.
Oh, that's what I want to ask you. So in the game yesterday, did you notice anything in the shoulder? You feel it, or is it better?
No, it was fine. That's not like there's not much to it. I think if somebody's going to get injured in that, it's probably somebody from like falling and getting hurt, or it's going to be a lot of just motion in the shoulder.
In tennis, do you do soft hits?
Like that where you don't continue to follow through now.
Yeah. Like I feel like with pickleball, like it's that wiffle ball, so you know you really have to hit it to make it go far.
Yeah, otherwise the wind's going to take it.
Tactic is like, you know, those soft lobs over the net.
Yeah, the kitchen.
Just in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to it. I think in tennis, if somebody rips the ball at you, like a serve, right? 100-mile-an-hour serve, you can punch it back. So you don't have to follow through. You could just push the racket and let it bounce off the racket. So you just got to stay strong with it. So you go punch it and use their power. We got some live action in the feed. 2 comments. That's true. Matt needs to talk into his mic. Yeah. We've been telling him that, Trill.
There you go, Trill.
So yeah, you can punch it. Like, right, if serve comes back, I could just block it and quick punch. I could do the forehand, backhand side, whatever. Pickleball, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
Like volleying, you still have to go ahead and punch the ball. In tennis as well. It's like, right, I'm at the net. You can't just tap it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know. You said it's a wiffle ball. It doesn't have much bounce. There's zero bounce. It's a solid plastic ball, and the racket itself is a solid paddle.
I also felt like yesterday wind.
Yeah, it was a big factor. Yeah,
pickleball.
Imagine if those wind blockers weren't
there.
Yeah.
You'd have to quit.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Well, you just would suck. I used to get so mad when I first started tennis and like was first like starting to play in tournaments or high school. Would get so annoyed with the wind.
What got you into tennis in the very beginning?
Just I was fat and needed to play something or do some sort of sport. Vince.
Vince did?
Yeah, I mean, I was interested, so I played, but it's an expensive ass sport to play. And Vince was like hesitant because of that. But
was he playing before you?
Yeah, he started.
And who got him into it?
Scott.
His boss.
Uh-huh.
Scott plays?
Yeah, and then he like transitioned from that to racquetball. Like he used to always want to play with me, and then it was like to the point where I was clearly better, but he then didn't want to play anymore because he knew that. So he wouldn't ever play with me. So it was like this weird thing of like, I don't know, it's a really competitive sport, individual sport, which was made it hard.
It's a mental sport.
Yeah, it's a mental sport. But I've always said like Well, I have two pieces of comment. I have a topic I'd like to talk about actually and dive into and ask the chat or the group out there. I don't know if anybody's watching, but the big piece, it's a very individualized mental sport, right? It's like if we're going to refer to it as like a workout, you're by yourself, you're out there, you're the one making the decisions, you're the one making the shots, you're the one like, hey, I'm going to pick this barbell up, I'm not going to pick it up, I'm going to run a little bit faster, I'm not going to run a little bit faster. Whereas tennis is like, okay, I messed up that point, I'm the only one here affected by it, I need to be able to forget about what just happened there and move forward. Whereas like for when I was playing for years, it was like, okay, I'm up 5. This happened to me all the time. I would be up 5-0 and I would lose the game 6 or 7-5.
It's like,
because I would get in my head, I would make one bad shot and just not hit one. I wouldn't get one more point.
I mean, I feel like with tennis, people just go deep in the weeds.
Yeah.
I was watching this one clip 2 days ago, and this guy just got so frustrated with his rackets. He just smashed one, threw it. Then he went to his case, grabbed another one, smashed it, threw it, grabbed another one out of the case, smashed it, threw it. And then I guess he picked a different brand out of his bag. And I just wanted to play with that one.
Wow.
That's like you said, like if you can't forget about it, then like that's all you're gonna be thinking about is the racket.
Yeah, for that whole mat. And every shot you make, you're gonna be like, it's because of the racket, it's because of the shoes, it's because of this. Where it's like, I mean, that happens in the gym.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do that. Like people do it all the time. My hands, they ripped. It's like, I get it hurts, but you're just deadlifting.
Yeah.
Like you can use your fingertips and then your full hand on the other side. Or like, but people, and that's an extreme because that hurts.
Yeah.
But like people come up with those things all the time. My shoes, they were like, not that great. And it's like, this I'm going to wear. I needed lifters.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing to dig into too, is like, is CrossFit as effective for those that aren't competitive?
Yeah, but we're not talking about CrossFit today. People hate it. So we're not talking about CrossFit.
It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, but we can't talk about it here. I'm sorry. We can't. The chat hates it. And we can't talk about sports, so we got to pull away from this.
I'm sticking into your history.
Yeah, no, we're done with it. The people hate it. People, you can comment in there. Give us a thumbs up if you want us to talk about it. A thumbs down if you'd rather us not talk about CrossFit and sports.
Yeah. But anyway, I found out about pickleball through the news. Wanted to give it a try. We kind of winged it. What did we do? Just pull up a couple of YouTube videos. I don't know if we really even played it right for this first game.
Yeah, we just tried to Kendall just made up a lot of rules on the fly.
Yeah.
She would forget too. Like she'd be like, "Oh, it's my point." Be like, "What do you mean it's your point? You just told us we weren't allowed to do that." There's a lot to it, but overall, it was definitely not tennis. It's a little bit less active, but it was fun.
If anyone in the chat is local, wants to J up, let us fucking know.
Yeah, start a pickleball
play
tournament
more often.
We were gonna play today, I think, but not anymore, right?
I mean, you can
potentially. Depends on the day.
Yeah,
busy day. Everyone's back to work tomorrow. But fun sport, interesting. We went to Dick's Sporting Goods to go buy some gear. The girls didn't want to buy good stuff. Me and Matt bought some good rackets. Mine ended up being $109 racket.
So the Dick's arrangement was all spread out.
Yeah.
Like they just had all the rackets mismatched.
So we both grabbed rackets thinking they were the same, just different colors or like slightly different with like maybe a $10 price difference of $60 or $70. I got to the front, Matt checked out, I checked out, and she's like, it's going to be 120. I was like, 120 because there's tax. So I was like, holy shit, $110 racket.
Yeah, crazy. All it is like a wooden board.
Yeah, with like some sort of like, I'm sure like skeleton style plexiglass or something on the inside or whatever they would call that.
Yeah.
But what else? I don't have much today, dude.
You want to pull up the chat? Hey, I mean, we're not allowed to talk about CrossFit.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about
our
CrossFit.
whole life.
But we got to learn to talk about other stuff. That's the challenge for ourselves, is to see if we can talk about other stuff, other things. Nothing else has been happening in my life. I have my car went into the shop.
Yeah, dude, that's just.
I'm driving around in a $110,000 car right now,
which is pretty baller.
Yeah,
I feel like it's such a tool though. Every time we roll up to the mall or a grocery store, it's the Tesla that has the doors that roll up on the sides.
Yeah, you can
all
open,
roll out like a big squad.
Yeah, a bunch of kids.
But it's pretty dope.
It's definitely like a momish style car.
It's like mom meets like bougie luxury, but yeah, it's kind of a lost car. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what it's trying to say.
Yeah, the inside of it's kind of odd.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Yeah, that's where it's like super luxury, like the wood panel all around.
Yeah. The newer ones from what I've looked up are pretty cool. But let's ask the AI some questions.
I want to interview the AI. Let me share so you viewers can see it here. If anyone hasn't played with this, thing's fucking nuts.
All right, what are we gonna ask it?
You wanted to interview us?
Yeah.
Can you interview me? All right, here we go.
Of course, I'd be happy to interview. What would you like to talk about?
What do you want to interview about?
Leadership, I think. Let's see what leadership says. We can change it. We can just. What do you want to? No, let's discuss.
Yeah. All right, dude. There we go. That's it. What does leadership mean to you?
Leadership to me or to you? I'm answering.
Either one.
I think leadership is leaders are somebody that we follow. I think leadership is an individual or a group that allows for and makes a group of people feel comfortable to follow or like want to follow. So if I make an individual group like, hey, we're gonna go play pickleball, and I'm the leader of the group, right? And nobody feels comfortable coming because they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's fucking nuts. He's gonna get mad. He hates playing with us. He doesn't want us to be here. He doesn't like me, but he wants to play with this group and he doesn't want me to be involved. Poor leadership. Or like really bad or miscommunication, lack of communication, lack of guidance, lack of like mentoring. I think a leader has to like hold a lot of qualities, but I'd love to know what the definition of leadership is. Ask the AI.
We will. We still got some more questions to answer.
What do you think a leader is?
I feel like leadership is a lot of things, like you kind of touched on. I think there's a little bit of personality, maybe, or trust. Like you need to want to follow said person.
Yeah.
But I also don't think the leader is just like the person that is like explicitly saying, all right, you go do this, you go do that, I'm going to go do this. I think it's more like they just can organize the group. Maybe it's just because I'm a blue type personality, but like they can organize a group to where like people are just playing their strengths and the leader is just kind of in the background, just like
managing it.
Yeah.
Like you always refer to at work as like, Matt's working on said project. This person's helping Matt on said project because he has a stronger suit on this piece of the project. Yeah. This group is doing this. This group is doing this. And I'm just going to sit in the background and make sure everything's good to go. Yeah. It's kind of like my guys.
But then if we like look at Birdie, like maybe I'm just talking about one leadership style. Maybe there's many different styles.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We'd have to define it.
Who do you think of as a great leader and why? I think that's a good question.
Who do I think of a good leader and why? That's challenging.
Maybe it's no one.
Yeah, I don't know if I've like run into anybody because there's like, and I'm going to remove the fact that there are faults in everybody. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like, I think my manager at work is very much, I think he's a pretty good leader in the sense of like leading our individual team. I don't think he steps on anybody's toes, really. I think my job is very highly micromanaged by a lot of the department, and he tries to allow that to not be the case. He's kind of like, as long as you're being like, we'll call it like this. He doesn't say these words, but like, hey, you're doing an adult, you're doing your job, you're getting your job done, you're exceeding it. And I'm not having conversations with you like, hey, why didn't you meet this metric that we were talked about already at the beginning of the Q1 or beginning of the week or whatever? Or like, hey, here's what you need to get done. But now you want me to like approve you to have 7 days off. I'll approve it, but now I need to understand. Like, he doesn't even say no to that. Like, I asked him, I was like, hey man, can I take these days off? He's like, look, man, like you can take whatever you want off. I'm not having conversations with you about X, Y, and Z. We're not doing this. You hit your goals. You did this. It'd be different if you weren't. And then he ran through that. And then he was like, I'd also probably give it to you still because like, I still need to have faith in the team or like faith in you. And he's like, so even if you didn't, like, I understand I'm not having those conversations, but I would have that conversation with you and be like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll give it off. But like, we need to figure out how this is going to get done. Whereas like my job's slightly different because it's like hit or miss. Yeah. But for you, what's that look like?
I don't know, dude. I'm thinking like I can think of situations like, for example, I think in Fortnite back in the day, sounds crazy, but I'm going to relate it to a video game. I think you were a pretty good leader.
Yeah, all
On
right.
the good days when we were doing arena,
Okay, telling people what to
I
do.
feel like our squad was compromised of people that thought they were good leaders. Remember we played that game where
Yeah.
we let someone be the team captain?
Yeah,
I think
for the
you probably
game.
did the best.
Of getting people in the right direction.
I
Yeah,
think Guillermo,
was a pushover.
he doesn't like to make decisions.
Yeah, so he would be like,
he won't even like tell you what to do.
he'll just and then blame you for something that happened.
And then Rico was just like chaotic.
Yeah.
And everyone was just fighting when Rico was in charge with each other. It was like a standoff of like flexing.
Yeah.
And I felt like you were kind of like, made the decisions that need to be made, but didn't micromanage, and like you weren't like ripping people.
Do you feel translating from a video game into current life? Does that happen still?
For you? I don't know. I don't know if we're in those positions.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
feel like there's been leadership lately. Yeah. Would you consider yourself a good leader?
I don't know. I'm not good at self-reflection.
Well, let's reflect a little bit.
Probably not.
Chat, do we think Matt or myself are good leaders in any sort of aspect? It can be anything. Maybe none of you know us good enough.
But that brings us into question 3. What qualities do you think an important leader needs?
I think the values. I think it's different than qualities. I think they need really good values. And then qualities later in.
Good moral compass.
Yeah, like they need to be like, I think like they need to have their own agenda, personal growth, personal development. I think if they're not looking to grow, the team's not going to grow. So they need to be willing to be like humbled and be like, wait, what'd you just say? That's really cool. Like, teach me about that. Yeah. Or like where there's some leaders who are like, that's cool that you said that, but I know everything. Go fuck yourself.
I think awareness is huge.
Yeah. Like self-awareness.
Yeah, just aware of everybody.
Yeah. So like, okay. In the sense of like,
oh, I know you're a blue-green personality type, or I know that you're like, you don't like being micromanaged.
Gotcha, yeah.
I like know that like Rick over there, he needs like constant or like Trill, like she needs constant tasks. I need to always make sure that she's got things to do.
Okay.
Like I don't need to watch her do the things, but I need to make sure she has a list, because if she doesn't, she'll just start slacking off.
Okay.
And like I don't know. I just think awareness is huge. I think you touched on it earlier. Communication, I think, is huge, and communication style.
Okay, that's pretty good, because I wouldn't have thought to that deep of a level of like, maybe I do, but I don't at the same time. Like, who needs what?
Yeah,
but
like
I guess
if you do it in Fortnite,
like
how you're going to talk to Gazzo versus how you're going to talk to Super.
I guess it's not, but then being like you said, I think that way, but I'm not aware that I'm doing it. Yeah. Whereas like I'm sure my manager potentially sits down and is like, this person, I need a lot of communication. Like I like talking back and forth, being like, hey, I'm doing this. Is this, can I do this? Can I do that? How do I do this better? How do I do that faster?
Yeah, I feel like you also need a lot of validation.
Yeah, like
that was the right call, Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Hey man, I appreciate you asking me for time up, but you don't need to.
Yeah. If this is Vince, this is Jamie.
Jamie J up on the cast, dude.
Yeah, like what's he calling for? I can't answer a phone call like that on this like thing. You can talk in the chat.
He wants the link, probably, dude. Right?
You could try it. He doesn't pay attention to that stuff.
But yeah, so what should we like answer these questions for the chat, for the AI? Number 1, what does leadership mean to you? We'll answer number 3.
Those are excellent qualities of a leader to have.
It wants us to dive in. Now we kind of already did that. This is crazy. We could literally do a whole podcast where the AI just fucking interviews us.
Yeah.
It could be like a host, the Nobo podcast featuring ChatGPT. Yeah, I think we covered all these kind of like dive-ins. We need a tech person to like write our responses down, make it a little more interactive.
Yeah, back and forth. If anybody wants to be a tech person, is there anybody in the chat? You need a second monitor too. Awareness. Do you think awareness is important for a leader? Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Communication. We just talked about that. Values. We just talked about all 3. We're fucking pretty on point with it.
Yeah. Hey, we're like fucking natural born podcast hosts. But yeah, would you want to be a leader at work?
Yeah.
You do? What makes you want to do that?
because I just strive to go to the top for some reason, or like push myself to the top, but I struggle like the ride to get there. Like I don't like waiting.
Yeah.
But I would like to be a leader at work because I feel like I could lead a team, because I feel like I would understand those qualities. But like you said, without me actually maybe being aware of it, that if I was aware of it, it would be like, cool, said person likes to learn this way, needs X, Y, and Z to happen. Cool, I'm going to every Tuesday check in with this person and do these. On our one-on-ones, I'm going to do this with this person. Like I just like helping people grow, I think. And I'd much rather do that than me be the person that has to be in the one-on-one, I think. I think I bring good ideas to the table.
Yeah. I think you're very used to the one certain way of doing this, where it's like you've done it for CrossFit and tennis, where it's like you start as the athlete or the worker, right? And then you spend years just learning the craft, and then you move up to the next step, and then you move up. I'm wondering if maybe there's another way where it's like kind of like a Rick approach, where like he's climbed up the ladder once, and now he knows what it is to be a manager or leader, for lack of a better word.
He's climbing.
And so maybe now he's going to try to just go from right into management from where he's at. I don't know if it's going to work out for him or if he'll still have to climb the ranks, but like, yeah, if you could figure out some way to expedite the process. Because like, I don't know how much of sales you need to know to manage like sales.
I agree. People. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's more of like, do they just look at me as like lack of education? There's a lot to it, but potentially my goal is exactly what I'm doing, switching teams to a brand new team that could go this way, or it could crumble and fall apart and they have to readjust where we all are. It could be like, hey, this isn't working out. We're going to have to move all of you guys to different teams.
It's a little hard in your landscape from what it sounds like, because it's a little competitive.
A little bit. It's fucking super competitive. We have fucking
with quotas and stuff. So it's like, are you really going to be like, hey, Joe, dude, I found that if I do this, it works way better with these guys. Like, you should try it. Like, are you going to hand out the chips, the tactics you're using, or no?
Most of the people do, yeah. But like the difference is none of us see each other's. This podcast should be done like the Californians skit from SNL. Chris, dude, I don't even know what that is.
It's that one where they're talking about how you take the like I'll take the 101. Well, that's British. It's like take the 101 to the 405. I don't know how Californians talk.
Like Aaron, dude.
But it's like them talking about how they get to like certain places.
Oh, okay.
Like, you want to come over for dinner? And it's like, yeah, just shoot over the 101 and then hit the 5 and get stuck on the low traffic, dude.
Oh shit, that's funny. I'll have to watch it. We'll have to pull it up.
Is his trainer popping in?
He's in the car right now with Sid and the mom.
We got 6 viewers, and like we're not even talking about anything.
Yeah, this
like,
is
viewers. Hit us up on chat. Like, we're Jay up in the thing. Click the link up top. We were looking.
I don't know if they see it if they just join in. I think.
Like, I need to keep posting.
Yeah, I think so.
Check the comments on YouTube.
Like if Chris is here,
like, on Twitch,
like Jamie's gonna click this now because he's so excited to get in. But the way the competitiveness works for us is we all have our own set of accounts. So it's not like you can call my accounts. If you call my accounts, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not just like ambushing people and calling like, hey, you want to look at pro courts? Like, hey, like my team specifically is very targeted. It's like, hey, this is like they have a relationship with me back and forth. Like this one guy I'm dealing with out of S company in Arizona, huge company that does a lot of like actual work with the company. They are back and forth. Like he just said no to the meeting, and now I have to do like the real sales. Like, cool, that's fine. I just want to understand why. Cool. Once that problem solved, I'm gonna reach back out. Or like, hey, do you mind if I do monthly check-ins? Or like, hey, do you mind if I do this? Ask for permission without permission.
All right, pause there. We'll get back to that. I have some questions for you.
Now we're in, gang. We're in.
Holy, you got a whole squad, dude.
Dude, we're doubling your listeners just in this car.
Where are you going?
We're going to the beach.
Oh, what beach?
St. Pete Beach.
Oh, wow.
Who's all in the car here? We got Sid's sister.
Sid's sister. What a compliment. Sydney's mom and myself.
Oh, nice. And you made Sydney's mom ride in the back. That's very gentlemanly of you.
I know. She just got in the back of the car when we were getting in. Boys, we just did an outdoor yoga, CrossFit, hybrid. I know we're not talking CrossFit, but workout in Tampa on the river. It's very nice.
You ran it?
My gym ran it, but it was like 98% yoga people and like what's the 2% CrossFit people. It was very interesting. Yeah.
So wait, what was it like? Like it was for time and AMRAP. It was just
no. It was just like it was an hour of 15 minutes of It's an hour 15 minutes. 30 minutes of it were HIIT training, and then the other 45 minutes were yoga.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it was run by a yoga studio, and then South Tampa CrossFit did it. But we got there and it was like straight yogis. But yeah, they did 3-minute EMOMs. Did a warm up, 3-minute EMOMs, body weight stuff, and then we tapped into the yoga side, and then we kind of split before it was over because we wanted to go to the beach.
And Sydney did this?
I did
Sydney did it. She was doing burpees.
It was free.
Yeah.
Shit was great. Oh, this could be the hook into CrossFit, dude.
There you go. She met the owner of the gym.
Your
Shout
bro.
out on the mic.
Yeah,
No
he
big
did.
deal.
He shouted her out on the mic. He didn't do that. Yeah.
Did Sydney's mom do it
So-
too?
She did part of it. We had the dog there, so she was also managing the
okay.
dog. So, what are we talking about? Leadership?
Was she leading the
Yeah,
dog
we're
or
talking about
were-
leadership.
We're just talking AI. We're doing whatever with the AI. Our buddy Rick is moving to Virginia, though. What's the family got advice-wise?
Oh, family. What part of Virginia?
Smithfield.
Smithville.
Pretty.
It's pretty.
It's really pretty.
Where's that?
What's
Yeah,
our
but it's
our
like
initial reaction to Smithfield?
Abandoned.
I love Smithfield. It's a quiet family town.
That's what
Close
he's
to the
worried about.
water.
So if you were to go on Tinder, would you have a lot of success with Smithfield? No.
No, I don't think so.
All right, so our boy's gonna
What's
struggle.
it?
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time.
Why is he going there for work?
Just to save cash.
Yeah, he's just moving there. He's working at Procore now, remote, and then he's gonna be moving there for a little bit.
So random.
Did you get him the job at Procore?
Yeah, not technically,
Nice.
no, but yes.
Okay.
I'm
Very
trying to
cool.
get BT to join up too.
He's got a I don't know who listens to this, so I can't say much. But he does have he's got a call
This is not a
sometime this week with another company. They're trying to get him.
Oh shit,
So
where
yeah,
at?
you got Cintas, I think it's called. It's a restaurant supply
Yeah, I've heard of
company. They
Oh,
supply
Oh,
restaurants.
I know that
and,
one.
that.
Yeah.
What's the job for, do you know?
I think some sort of sales.
He's
I'm not
moving.
sure. No, I think he just. I think someone reached out to him and was like, "Hey, you'd be good for this. Have a conversation with this person." So it's not like an informal thing. I don't
Yeah,
think.
it's LinkedIn. Probably searched him, and some of these recruiters. I just got one the other day too. I said screw off.
So, but
I'll
yeah,
have to call him. I'll have to call BT and see what's up with him. But yeah, we were talking about leadership and what makes quality leaders and good leaders, and we were trying to figure that out.
okay. Well, Sydney's mom's quite the leader, so she's good at this.
All right, what's the AI?
What?
The question was, what does leadership mean to you? Was our first initial thought.
All right, Susie, take it away.
Well, leadership to me, I just said it's way different than management and manager. Leadership is the essence of why you're employed. And so leadership is anywhere along the chain. A new hire, it's definitely not necessarily the VP or CEO. It's a vision. It's just how you work with others and something you embody. Manager manages projects and deadlines, and they're very reliable, but they're not leaders.
Okay, I like that outlook. That's a lot better.
Okay.
I like that. That's interesting because
Something you
That's-
embody. I think that's a good way to say it.
You embody.
yeah, that's like ultimately kind of at my job what they expect out of all of us when they hire us. They want us to have the aspects of like you're at the bottom, you're in the middle, you're at tier level. Everybody needs to be some sort of like understanding of what leadership looks like and how you're going to help the team get to that next step. Like we're all here to do this together, and we all need to figure out how to move the needle forward.
Right. And so really the most successful leader knows that it's not about them. It's got nothing to do with them and their success and who they are and what they've done and what they wear and where they go. Leadership is about the entire organization. And so it's you lead by doing and walking around and being a part of it, in my humble opinion.
Okay. So what qualities do you think are important that a leader has? Top 3.
Top 3, humility. Be sure, you've made mistakes, so you got to share that with the team, and then you pick back up with
We lose service.
so you have to be pretty humble.
Okay.
You have to be honest.
Okay.
You got to be honest. There's some bad news to deliver. It's not all good. And, so you definitely have to be honest. And then you have to be trustworthy. Like if you're going to ask people to jump in, they got to know you have their back, even if it fails, that you're not going to be thrown under the rug. We're all doing it. And so, yeah, you need a humble leader that's honest and you can trust them. And all that's smooth after that.
Would you draw a difference between honesty and trustworthiness? Would you say there's a difference between the two?
There is, definitely.
What's that look like?
It's like giving versus receiving.
Oh, what's it look like? It's
Like an honest person is giving the truth. But if you're trustworthy, it means like on the receiving end, people are believing what you're saying and they trust that you're honest.
Okay.
And trust also, so being
the cameraman.
Being in a leadership role, and in my experience, there are things that have to move fast. We've got deadlines, we've got obligations, and so I need my folks to all work together, and they may not have all of the details, the nitty-gritty details they want to know at the time. So what I need for them to do is trust me that I'm making the best decision for everyone involved, and then we will rehash it at the end and put all the pieces together. But when we say go, we say go, and you trust me that I've got your back and we're going to meet the objective and the outcome. So honesty, like Sid said, is, when you've got that time to reflect and have communication, it's honest. There's good, bad, and indifferent. Trust is we are fully attached to the mission. If we say go, even if we're not sure, I trust that this is going to take us to where we need to go, and then we'll talk about it later.
Plus, honesty can help build trust, right?
Sorry, I was talking.
I said honesty can help build trust, right?
Oh,
1,000%.
Absolutely.
You agree with all this, Jamie?
Yeah, dude, I'm just sitting here being a cameraman. My arm's getting a little tired.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we got some great points from the Florida crew here.
I mean, would you think being a captain makes you a good leader?
No, I mean, I don't think being a captain makes me a good leader, because there's a lot of captains out there that are horrific leaders. And they embody like I'm the captain and you guys are the crew and you're going to do everything for me other than drive the boat.
Do you think you're a good leader?
I would think so. Yeah. I would like to think so. I've been told I'm a decent leader. I was in charge at one point of like 60 people. So I dealt with them.
In charge or managing?
Oh.
I was in charge of them. Yeah, I was in charge.
So what does that look like? What do you mean you were in charge? What did a day-to-day look like?
I oversaw a core group of 8, and then those 8 oversaw a group of like 45. Okay. So in theory, I like only, oversaw 8 people, and then they oversaw about 45. But at the end of the day, if something went awry, it was my job to correct it and or have disciplinary action to that person.
Okay. Would we say that was leadership, or would we say that was management?
That was management. Yeah, that was management.
But in that management, if you're having open, honest communication, you elevate.
What did you say to
leader.
Sydney when you wrote her up? You were like, I just want us to remember the mission of this trip is to be educational.
Yeah.
So when you're not teaching the customers, I have to write you up because we're straying from the mission of people come on the boat to learn about dolphins.
Yeah, I wrote 2 people up this past 2 weeks, dude.
Is writing them up good leadership? there a better way?
Well,
one was against his will.
One was against my will. I was
Oh,
told
okay.
by my boss that I
He
had
was
to do it.
managed into writing.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
one
but
was
there is. If it's an honest,
if there's a learning experience to be like coming from it.
it is
Yeah.
leadership.
Yeah.
So what were you honest? Were you like, hey, my boss told me I have to write you up. I really don't want to do this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, I don't really like understand this, but like I got in trouble and ergo they're coming on out on me, and then I have to also come down on you. So
Okay. Can we paint a picture? I have a couple scenarios in my head of what like a really good like leadership experience would look like. So if we were in a hospital, for example, and we had a bunch of nurses and a group of nurses, like a call bell was getting rung and a group of nurses weren't moving and the charge nurse had to go ahead and take care of the situation, but then continues to just do nothing. And all the other nurses, we'll just say, aren't doing their job essentially. How would a leader approach this?
I have a statement as being the only non-nurse in the room.
Okay. Of course you do.
I would say I think the leader would be the non-charge nurse that then goes and speaks up to the nurses. Granted, that person I guess also didn't do the job, so it'd be kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. But I think a leader within that group of just regular nurses could speak up like, hey, we missed the mark on that one. Like, we as a team should have stepped up and taken over for the charge nurse, even though they all missed it.
Any one of the scenario could be the leader, not just the charger.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Good job, Sid.
So you've identified that because the charge nurse is managing where the leader should be the group on the floor because they're not seeing our vision.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. So how would this be addressed? Like, right, what would a really good leader, how would they address this situation? And if there's not a leader present, what do you do?
Well, I would say how to address it is on that scenario, whoever has the ability to lend a hand, those 2, 3, 4 get together. You look at the assignments, you look at who's doing what, and then you redelegate. Maybe somebody is just absolutely swamped. I mean, we don't know how the day's going to go. Like, say you've got a patient that is a typical post-surgical patient. Well, then lo and behold, an hour later, they're going into a rest. Well, that's a whole different assignment, but we already made assignments. And so that nurse is absolutely slammed right now. So a leader would be your teammates that come forward and say, hey, my patient is a light load today. Let me assist you. And together you redirect and delegate so that everybody breathes and gets out of there in a decent amount of time.
I agree. It's like, dude, Luke, hey man, can you go hit this code blue? You're really good at placing an IV. I'll take your patient real quick and then we'll meet back up, man. I'm just really busy. Like, anyone could say that, right? It doesn't have to just be the charge nurse or the manager.
Well, because the charge nurse is managing the group. The leaders are the ones that are seeing, like, right, if our thing is quality care, the vision.
Right. And the manager, bless their soul, is on the phone, talking to X-ray, talking to dietary, talking to the ER, talking to the surgeon. They're not seeing what is happening minute by minute. It's those that are in the rooms and the team doing the care. So if you're waiting on the manager to figure out what to do, you're already a step behind.
Yeah, you're not the leader.
You're not the leader. Yeah.
So that's the company's responsibility ultimately to, like, what they do at my job is like, we're just going to try our best to hire a group of already built-in leaders, because if they're not doing that, that's really hard to teach. And also it's like, maybe they shouldn't be there.
Hire smart.
Now, what if, go ahead,
sorry,
Jamie. Now go for it.
I was gonna say we only got a few minutes left.
Yeah, we're on like 2-minute countdown here, guys.
Till we get to where we're going, and I wanted to bring one more point up about other than leadership. Are you ready for it? Or are we?
Yeah.
All right. Sydney had an idea last week because we were on the pod before we went to the show.
Yep.
She thinks there should be a podcast. Okay. That if you guys stick with CAP or stick with another program, that every Sunday you break down the week's workouts and strategy and like tips and tricks and strategy and scaling for let's say CAPS programming. So if there's 300,000 people that use CAP, there's going to be some of those people are going to be interested in hearing a weekly breakdown of the workouts, what the week looks like.
You might get in trouble.
Well,
And tips and tricks.
Programmed by Luke, and we could break it down. We just need to get gyms to use it.
Yeah, like would we get in trouble for using CAP's programming? We can dissect CAP. We can do
I don't know, because
CrossFit.com.
Do .com, yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a pretty cool idea that she came up with regarding like, because she was like, you listen to your coach every Sunday night because he posts a YouTube video. Like, this is what the week looks like. He doesn't give us the exact workout, but like, hey, Wednesday we're doing handstand push-ups and deadlifts, but not the whole workout.
My thought was like, you guys all like to talk about CrossFit and talk about the strategy of it a lot. Like, there's a whole other sport of CrossFit of just the strategy of doing the same workout, but with these different tips and tricks. And that's what you guys, like Jamie included, when I say you guys, just like love to sit around and talk about that. And if you think about podcasts that you like to sit around and listen, it's like when you like to listen to podcasts when people sound like they're like your friends and you're in the room talking with them about it. So that was just my way of thinking was like, oh, like maybe you could get CrossFitters really into a podcast about CrossFit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you'd start Nobo affiliate programming.
Yeah.
And then
it comes with a accompanied podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how you would market that, but long story short, podcast about every Sunday, Saturday, whenever you release it for the week. It talks about the workouts coming up, strategy you can go about, tips, tricks.
But to Luke's point, you can use .com.
Yeah,
that.
like CrossFit.com. Yeah, it's already free, and we would just discuss the issue with that is they don't release the workouts for us to see. Yeah, we'd have to be a whole week behind and be like, we're gonna recap last week's workouts.
But the cool thing is there are no like coach notes or anything for that, so it'd be like you creating a fresh playbook for it.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what we got on our brains today. We're off to the beach. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. It's early there still, so you got a lot of day left.
All right, dude.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the tidbits.
Thanks for the J up.
Live, laugh, love, boys. I'll talk to you later.
Have fun. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Good old Jamie, dude.
Jamie came in hot with some leadership advice.
Always in the car, that guy.
Yeah, he's a driver, dude. He loves to travel. What else you got for us today?
That's it, dude.
That's an interesting take. We'll dig into that a little bit. I don't know if it's legal for CAP programming or linchpin or whoever we did, because that would be like taking their product and making our own money off of said product, quote unquote, if it were something that happened.
Yeah, I mean, you could do CAP, but like it'd be hard because we couldn't mention what the workout is. I feel like.
Yeah, or we couldn't mention what we were using. Maybe.
Yeah.
That might cause some problems, but it was a cool idea.
.com's a good idea.
Yeah, if that's legal too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's definitely legal. It's open source.
Yeah, you're right.
But
yeah, CAP, they probably have somewhere. We'd have to look in their agreement.
Yeah, I mean, we could do Nobo, but then it's like
I got a program.
We'd have to program, and we'd have to sell it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Gyms would have to buy it.
We would just have to load up. Yeah, and
it's like, I don't even know how you do that. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a salesman, but it's like, hey, I'm Luke.
Hey, man, we're just offering. I'd love for you to follow my programming. It's GPP programming. There's no like rhyme or reason to it. There'll be weekly or every 2 weeks an objective to hit is how I liked to do it. Was every 2 weeks we would kind of like, here was what our next 2 weeks are going to look like. Be interesting. It's an interesting thing to dive into. But what are we doing next week on the podcast?
Next week, I don't know. Well, yeah, next week will probably be another one of these because we got a real busy weekend. Saturday we're hosting a comp.
Oh yeah, I won't even be here next week. I got a Tough Mudder.
Oh yeah, we'll be off next.
And
week.
You'll be gone too.
Right,
you have a thing. Yeah, we got a busy week next week. The start of April. The goal is to have quality podcasts, 45 minutes to an hour long, and quality. Like, right, our buddy of ours said we need to teach people stuff.
I think we also need to like actually interview.
Yeah, that's what he.
With Rocket.
Yeah. All right, we'll try that. Maybe we'll just do AI interviews.
Or we do Sydney's thing too.
Yeah, we could try that. And then if not, it doesn't matter. We just chat. We just talk. At some point, something good will happen. You got anything else?
Yeah, Chris, dude, thanks for joining.
Yeah, dude. You never Jay in. Peace.